Welcome back, everyone, and thanks for watching. I'm back here at Gettle Toyota of Charlotte County in Punta Gorda, Florida, and today I have this 2022 Toyota GR86, a nice and sporty and inexpensive vehicle. And not too long ago, I was thinking to myself, hey, where did all those cars go? Where did Celica go? Where did the 240 SX from Nissan go? There's not such a thing anymore. Well, today I'm going to prove myself wrong, hopefully, because I'm going to take you on the tour of it. We're going to explore it together from the exterior, interior, check what's underneath the hood, and at the end of this video you're gonna go for a spin with me. But before we do that, do me a quick favor, go to the right hand corner of that video, somewhere right here there's a red button that says subscribe on. Go ahead and click that and then ring the bell right next to it so you won't miss any of my videos. Now let's get back to this vehicle. Well, Toyota GR86 is brand new for 2022, but it's actually not a very new concept. It actually starts dating back to 2013, where Toyota and Subaru got together and developed what then it was a Scion FRS and Subaru BRZ. It is a continuation of that, and this is the new redesigned generation of it. So it's got a lot of components from both of the manufacturers, and you can see that especially once we open the hood in just a little bit. But I got to tell you, the design of it is great. I love the Trueno blue color. That's what they call it. And look at this hood. The hood is long. Actually, the hood itself is not as long, but the whole front end is long, and it does have this indent in the middle to allows for the air to kind of swoosh over. It also has this indent in the middle of the roof too, to continue that. We've seen that on the Supra as well. As far as the lights, you have this fully LED headlight unit, daytime running lights. You have the high beams and everything that's combined into one. There's no fog lights on this vehicle, but you do have those air curtains on the side, and then you have this open grille right at the bottom of it. This is matte black. You got Toyota logo, you got the GR. Basically, this is a racing division of Toyota. It's Gazoo Racing, and right at the bottom of it you have this splitter. This is nice, aggressive, not overly overdone. Like I said, the biggest difference and improvement that has been made on this vehicle, however, it's what's underneath there. So let's pop it up and let's see. Well, the hood is open, so let's peek underneath it. As walking by right here, first thing that I don't like about it is this prop stick, but a lot of people say they don't care about it, so I'm not going to ding it for it. As far as the engine, first things you see Toyota D4S Boxer Subaru. So it is a 4-cylinder, naturally aspirated, horizontally opposed engine. The displacement 2.4 liter. As far as the power, 228 horsepower, 184 pound-feet of torque. But the difference is you get all that torque at 3,700 RPMs, which is a low-end torque. So that should be fun to drive. You can see a lot of that bracing for better driving dynamics, and you can also see that this engine doesn't really have a cover. Everything is exposed, and you even have this oil filter that's right on top of here, which is kind of strange, but it's still pretty cool design. Even if we didn't look at the engine, I would say this is a pretty fast car, right? Because it looks fast standing still, and that's what's nice about the design of it. It is nice, it's sleek, it's modern, it's sporty, but it's kind of not overdone. Like I said, in the front, you can see a lot of the vehicles right now creating all kinds of weird geometrical shapes on them, and that's supposed to make them look fast. Now, this is probably by far my favorite design of a vehicle. I also like the wheels, those 10-spoke wheels, kind of a satin black wheel. As far as the rim, these are the 18-inch rims. This is a premium version. That's what you get with the premium version of the GR86. 215/40, that's the size of the tires, and you have the sport tire. You have the Michelin Sport Pilot sports tires on it. As far as the rest of the design, if you look right here, there is an actual functional vent that allows the air to escape from inside of them and kind of swishes over the side of it, protected at the bottom by this bottom seal. So very nice. Nothing too crazy about the door handles. It does have the keyless entry, so you don't have to push any of the buttons on the remote to get in there. There's no turn signals, no blind spot assist, but the mirror is heated, and it actually does have this metallic black cover. As far as that, you might see the shark fin antenna, and then this, I like this portion right here where they flare out. They make it more beefy, especially for the sporty look of this vehicle. It looks super cool. Well, right, so the whole design of this vehicle really comes together very nicely in this back end. I like this sloped window right here and this spoiler right here. Now if you get the base version, you get the little spoiler, which is basically right underneath here. But if you get the premium version, you get this big, they call it the duck bill spoiler. I think it looks like the duck wing spoiler to me, but that's what you get with the premium model. So you do have the third brake light right here. The camera is right here. There's a little button to unlock the trunk, the GR86, and then at the bottom of here you can see you have this nice diffuser. You also have the backup lights and the light right in the middle. Two huge exhaust tips right there, and this is all encased in this matte black trim. So as far as the lights, they're fully LED lights. They have this sticking out versions like you see on so many Toyotas right now, and then they're connected by this shiny black trim piece between two of them. It also does have a trunk, so let's see how much room we have inside of it. I guess if you choose to get this vehicle, just be prepared that there's not a whole lot of room inside of this trunk. So this is a perfect bachelor car or bachelorette vehicle. So if you're one, well, I don't know if the golf clubs will fit in here, maybe, but quite frankly, I'm not sure. And underneath here, you have a little bit more storage. You basically have the fix-it flat, and there's no spare tire on this particular one. Now, in case you get locked up in here, you have a handle that you can pull, and that's going to unlock the trunk from the inside. But that's the only thing that we have in here. Well, we can't forget about the quality check, so let's shut the door and see here how it sounds. Boom. Nice and solid. Now keep in mind, this is a frameless design on the windows, so it doesn't have the frame all around it, so it always sounds not as good as if it was a full frame design. So looking at the door panel right here, I like this suede or Alcantara material that's right on top of here, but then everything else is this hard plastic. Okay, so this is hard plastic, this is hard plastic. Now you do have an insert of a softer material, kind of vinyl, and you do have a nice armrest with the contrast stitching, so that's not bad. Only a tiny little cup holder, and I tell you, normally I don't care about the cup holders, but this one has the interior cup holder, such a weird spot that you probably would want to use this one anyways. And this vehicle has been just tinted, so it says do not roll down, so we're not going to do that, but this does have the window and mirror controls right on here. And check this out on the interior. Absolutely love it. We're going to go in detail about it, but before we get in the back, let's check out the seats. I like how nicely profiled they are. They have this kind of suede microfiber insert in the middle. They have this leather surrounding, and they're nice high bolsters. They keep you nice and tight into those seats when you're going into the turns. So a very nice design as far as that. Figure I'd do it before I get in, because once I get in, it's hard to get out. But one thing that I want to point out, it is marketed as a 2x2. So it has a room for two 2-year-olds in the back. A fully sized adult can basically, there's no way you can fit in here. I can't fit in there. And look, I have the seat adjusted to my regular driving position. Look how much room there is between the back seat and the front seat. My hand fits in there, but barely. So no way my feet would fit in there. So those seats are probably for insurance purposes, so it's qualified as a 4-seater. Now Now on the interior, this vehicle looks just as cool as on the exterior. I gotta tell you, for the class of this vehicle, which is a sporty compact coupe, this does look super cool. And you do have this soft plastic right on top of it, which is a big plus. A little bit of a hard plastic here, not a big deal. A lot of this touch points are hard plastic, which I know a lot of people are complaining about it. It doesn't really bother me as much in here. So you do have the infotainment system. We're gonna check that out. I like it that it's here versus right on top of it, like you see so many other models. It's right there where your eyes lead to. So I like that feature. And then pretty cool buttons and dials for everything. We're going to go through them one by one in just a little bit. Starting with the steering wheel, I like the steering wheel. It is small steering wheel, leather wrapped. It does have some contrast stitching. While we're here, we can check out, it does have the pedal shifters. Limited functionality as far as what the buttons do. So this is basically your source as far as what's playing, and Bluetooth, Sirius XM, FM, volume, and then back and forth as far as the different stations, so you can check that out. And now on this side you have basically this controller that controls what's going on in part of the instrument cluster, and we're going to check that out. And other than that, you have the voice control, and then you have the lane keep assist. Now as far as the instrument cluster, I'm going to tell you, this is cool looking. Let me just take a good shot at it, and we'll see what we have. So as far as the customization, the only thing, look at the left hand side. So in the middle you have the speedometer, right? And then you have a tachometer. So speedometer is this big zero right now that displays, and tachometer is everything around it. Then of course you have your fuel gauge and the temperature gauge on the right hand side, but on the left hand side you can do some customizations. So you can see like your safety assist. So first you have the lane departure warning, okay, all the safety controls that you can flip on and off. Then you go to eyesight, basically acquisition sound, start alert, acceleration levels, all of that stuff that you can change here. Then you can go to messages. This is basically as far as your service information. So you know you have that as far as where here, go back here, as far as your battery voltage and as far as your temperature, coolant temperature right here. And then you also have your G-force, you have the brake, accelerator left and right. Then let's see if we have anything else in here. If this is, there's more. Nope, this is all you have. Again, we go back to Bluetooth, and now you have the cruise control. So that's what you have in here. And let's take a look at the infotainment system. It is, like I said, it is in the right placement. It's perfect because it's where your eyes lead. It says no device connected right now, but when we go to the home screen, right here you can see radio, media, phone, apps, roadside assistance, setting, maintenance, add shortcuts, and that is it. You can also see the outside temperature, 95 degrees, so no wonder my AC is working overtime. As far as the apps, you have the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, but you do need to have them connected, believe, with the wire. I haven't checked that off, to be honest with you. Roadside assistance settings. So let's see what we can change as the settings. So these are general settings. Camera, rear camera display control, sound. So these are audio settings, phone, radio, car. All right, what can we change as far as car settings? So you have the eyesight, and that's, you know, that this is a Subaru derived technology, by the way, the pre-collision braking, lane departure warning, you know, the whole 9 yards. Then you have the reverse automatic braking, keyless entry system. What can we change? Audible signal, hazard warning, flasher. So you do have some options in here as far as steering responsiveness, headlights, so you can turn those off, one touch lane changer. Okay, this is general settings. So there's a whole bunch of settings that you can go through. Driver profiles, you can set it up, add driver profile, etc. And go back to the home screen. There's no navigation, but if you connect your Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, you're gonna have that. That's available for you. So I'd give this 5 out of 10. It's not the greatest infotainment system. It is in the right place. It gives you the basic information, and if you want more, you can actually connect your phone to it, so you get more functionality out of it. At the bottom here, you can see the GR start stop. This is a pretty cool start stop button, and all these dials are basically your climate control. So you can see you can set your temperature. This is your fan speed, and right here at the bottom you can see you can set it to auto if you'd like to, but that would be too much fan speed. Turn it on or off, make sure the AC is on, or max AC if you'd like to. And these pretty cool buttons behind it, this is for your front window defogger, defroster, different modes, so that's where the air is coming out of. As far as the vents, this is still for your AC, not your driving modes. And then you have the air recirculating and the sync button. Now this is the part where I'm sure a lot of people are waiting for, and now they're like, oh crap, it's on automatic. Yes, so I mean, the GR86 is available in both automatic and manual transmission. And of course, the most desirable is the manual transmission, because simply there's not too many vehicles that are available with that. And I wish I had it, but I don't, so let's live with this. And we're going to test out this 6-speed automatic transmission while driving. You do have a regular brake, so for those of you that like drifting and get the manual transmission, that actually might be pretty cool. And you do have a few buttons over here, so you have 2 driving modes, the sport or snow, and you can turn off your traction control, or you can turn off your traction control and enable a track mode. And what happens when you enable the track mode, I'm going to show you on the instrument cluster, okay? So that turns on a track mode right here. So you can see these are your RPMs basically, and the speed goes to the minimum, like it says 0 miles per hour right at the bottom, and you can see traction control is off. So maybe I'll keep it in track mode as I'm taking off, and we're going to take that for a spin in a little bit. But before we go any further, let's take a look at the rear view camera, since we know that it has one. Okay, so just a simple setting on the rear view camera. There's nothing crazy. There's no 360. All right, regular trajectory lines, they do move. As far as the quality of the camera, yeah, I'm gonna ding it for it. That's not the greatest either. And what do we have? RAB, so reversed auto braking on, and then the parking sensors are on. So it says check surroundings before backing up, and that's it. That's your rear view camera. Moving down from this center console right here, you do have a cup holder. You also have 2 more right here. I'm not sure if these were designed for the rear passengers, but I mean, they're really close. Look at this. The rear passengers, I mean, if they can put their feet up, maybe they can fit in there. But you also have the auxiliary output and 2 USB outlets, as well as you have those cup holders. Well, if you don't want to use them, you have a nicely padded armrest, so that's a pretty big plus too. I gotta tell you guys, once you get in here, it's not as bad. And the moment of truth is I'm not the most flexible or agile human being. I'm 6 feet tall. But I gotta tell you, if I had no problems getting in here, then probably nobody would, unless you know, you're a lot larger. But even with that, I mean, there's plenty of room once you squeeze yourself inside of it. I like how the seats are comfortable. I'm ready to take this for a spin. But as always, let's check out and see what model are available for this year's GR86. So right now you only have 2 models. The 27.7 is the base model, and that's just the GR86. Or you have this one that we're sitting in right now, that's GR86 Premium, and it starts at $30,300. Now what it adds those 18-inch matte black painted alloy wheels. It also adds the colored keyed duckbill rear spoiler, which I would call it duck wing or duck tail maybe, but not sure. And complimentary 1-year NASA membership, including 1 free high performance driving experience. So for those of you who buy it, you get to go and drive one of those how they should be driven. So let's check this out. I want to find out of how this vehicle kind of handles around this parking lot. Okay, so we're going to take a few turns. Well, this is definitely a rear-wheel drive vehicle. It wants to, yeah, there you go. It wants to go. It wants to fishtail kind of. I did disable the traction control, so that's definitely helping. But this is fun. It's a lot of fun getting into this vehicle and kind of testing it a little bit. I know this is an automatic transmission, but nevertheless, I feel surrounded kind of snug, surrounded by this cockpit in here and everything that's going on. It's within my reach, which is a huge plus. The bolsters are there to hold me in place, but like I said, they don't squeeze me too much, which is good. It's been a while since I sat in a low vehicle like this. It's kind of cool. I can only imagine it's going to be a lot of fun driving a manual transmission. I wonder if it does have any of the rev matching downshift type of audio effects, if you will, from the engine. You know, it is competing in the segment where there's really no competition. I mean, the closest one you can probably get, would be a Mazda CX-5. So, but that would be a two-seater kind of a roadster setup. This is a 2x2 technically. Cool. Well, you can also argue that it's going to compete in the segment like the Honda Civic Si, maybe Hyundai Elantra N. That's the 275 horsepower one. But I don't know. I mean, there are no coupes. They're going to have like a different driving dynamics than this. Yeah, the Elantra is more powerful, 275 horsepower versus 228. You do have a turbocharged engine versus naturally aspirated on this one. Power delivery is going to be different. That one is a front-wheel drive. This one is a rear-wheel drive. So I don't think you can compare it to anything, really, in the segment, other than, you know, obviously the BRZ, which is the sibling of it, and the Miata, baby. I'm excited. I hope I'm going to find a stretch of road where I'm going to be able to open it up. So far, we're going to try to merge into this traffic. You know, here's a big difference between like the previous generation one, which, you know, I've driven, but it's been a while, and this one that, you know, you would have had to do a lot of dancing with your pedal, getting it up to the RPMs and up to a certain point where you would pick up all that power. Now, we're doing 47 miles an hour, and I can put the pedal down and feel that pull, feel how this vehicle pulls with this lower end torque, because I'm only at about, you know, 2,000 RPMs right now. So, I mean, that's very important to know, that it's completely different driving dynamics than what it used to. Okay, so it's a fun little zoom, fun little driving machine. You know, I'm gonna have a little bit of a stretch of road where I can basically open it up. So let's do it now. Now we have some slower traffic, but we got it up to about 55 miles per hour. So, I mean, it's not a slow vehicle. It's 0 to 60. It's at about 6 seconds or so. So, I mean, like I said, this is not the fastest vehicle. It's a lot of fun. Definitely, I can see that, even though I'm only here for a short test drive, but I can only feel like the dynamics of this vehicle. The brakes are good. You don't dive. The vehicle is on the stiff side, but not overly stiff. The pickup is good. The sound of the engine is pretty cool, especially if you like the naturally aspirated Subaru Boxer engine. They make this specific sound of it, and I'm sure there's I'm sure there's already people that are souping it up to be even more powerful than it is. But as it is from the factory, it is a very solid vehicle. Fun little car. Love to have it as a second car, especially with the manual transmission. You know, kind of reminds me of the cars of my youth. Like I said, the Celicas, the Nissan 240 SXs. I'll definitely give this vehicle a big thumbs up because they've improved upon something that was already pretty good. That new powertrain is awesome, and like I said, it is stiff. You can probably see how this vehicle handles on the road, but I don't feel uncomfortable. I can definitely take it for a longer drive and still not have to go and visit chiropractor at the end of it. So if you're looking for a sporty vehicle and you have a Toyota dealership nearby, definitely check them guys out. Make sure you take it for a spin. Don't just buy the vehicle based on the look. I've seen so many people do that. It's not even funny. But take it for a spin. Make sure that it fits your driving style, your driving posture, and that it is comfortable and you know, go for it if you like it. So again, big thanks to Gettle Toyota of Charlotte County in Punta Gorda, Florida. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate every single view. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.